Hey everybody, welcome back to the S&M Sports Talk podcast. It's been a little bit of time.
A minute.
Yeah.
Or two.
I feel like we say that every single time.
Sorry, it's been a while.
I feel like, oh man, sorry.
Things happen.
We're supposed to record this every Sunday.
We'll be better during football season.
So,
I'm sure of it.
Happy July 4th. Happy Juneteenth. Happy everything.
Has it been that long?
It's been a long time. Anyways, I'm Rook, and I'm here with Misty.
Hey, everyone.
You can email us at snmsportstalk@gmail.com, and the other ones that are on Facebook and Twitter.
Facebook, S&M Sports Talk. Instagram, S&M Sports Talk. Twitter
SM Sports Talk 1.
Very good.
Bam.
Yeah,
Right.
You got it. MySpace. We're looking into MySpace.
Yeah, looking
currently.
at MySpace. It's funny, actually, I tried my log on from MySpace with my Hotmail email address.
Yeah.
And
Did
was
it work?
like, no, it didn't.
Oh, I actually read not too long ago, because MySpace is like a musician thing now, right?
It's owned by Justin Timberlake.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I read that some of the accounts, I don't know which ones, but some of them were actually converted to the new whatever on MySpace. So some people's logins still do work and they can still access their information.
I actually kind of want to, I want to see if it's the same as when it was like, of what it was like back in the early 2000s.
It's isn't like SoundCloud also kind of a social networking sort of thing for musicians, or no?
I
bet it's like that.
Yeah, something
like that.
But I used to remember like you had to have a top 5, and like Tom had to be in the top 5.
He was like that guy.
I don't know that guy. Like, get him off the top 5.
Remember, you could put a song on your profile.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
My background music video was "Turn the Page" by Metallica.
Oh, mine was "Apologize" by One Republic. That was like the last one that I remember doing.
Good Lord, is that song that old?
Yeah, I think so.
Jeez. Yeah, that's funny in MySpace.
Yeah.
So there was one.
I'm trying to think like what pictures I put on MySpace. I'm really trying to rack my brain here.
Yeah, it was so like I
was really young.
I remember I had like so many things running on the background that it was like the slowest web page ever to load.
Hard to load.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you could like Google the codes to put in different backgrounds and stuff.
See, that's back when we had to like work to do like creative shit like that. Now it's like you just go to Facebook and like,
yeah, but you can't
get the Facebook, widget so you can give everybody a
fancy Facebook backgrounds though.
I know.
I think I had stripes or something. It was real cute.
You can't even poke on Facebook anymore.
You can't? Oh, you like wave.
That's stupid.
Poking is like a trigger for some people. I don't know.
Don't poke me, bro.
Trigger warning, I'm about to poke you.
I wonder if there's somebody like, hey man, like we're cool and all, but I don't want to
don't poke me.
I don't get poked by dudes. Like I wonder if people actually have that mindset.
I don't know.
So anyways, back to sports.
Yeah.
Or starting to go to sports.
Yeah. Lots has happened.
Lots of stuff to catch up on. Obviously, we're not going to overanalyze because we've been taking like long breaks. So we are very inconsistent.
Yeah. Really, seriously, we'll get better football season, I think. Just a lot and a lot of nothing going on right now.
So it's July, right?
It is.
So end of this month, we're going to get some like mock drafts in. We're going to get some friends involved. We're going to like compare our mock drafts. We're going to talk massive shit. I got to renew my fantasy football league. I'm stoked. Yeah. I'm super happy.
I don't want to make excuses, but I feel like my pregnancy brain is not going to be conducive to fantasy football. I'm going to try, but
I think the last time you were pregnant, you won.
That's right.
So I don't want to hear it.
No, every time something big happens, I win. The year we got married, I won. The year our daughter was born, I won. The other year that I won, because I've won 3 times. I don't know if you know that, but I have. Anyway, yeah, so maybe we'll see. So anyways, I think it's because when other stuff is going on, I don't overanalyze. That's what it is. So leave me out of your mock drafts. You and Billy and John or whoever can do that.
No, you're still doing it.
I mean, I'll do it, but I'm not going to retain any information.
Yeah, well, you don't retain any information now.
I know.
You're still the one that picked Le'Veon Bell with the first pick last year. Anyways.
Hey, I'm not the only one. It's not like he was suspended or something and I stupidly picked him. Lots of people picked him.
But you should have picked his backup.
Yeah, I know that.
Anyways, so like I said, there's a ton of stuff to catch up on. We're not going to overanalyze and go into all this stuff because, honestly, whatever. We're just having fun.
Yeah.
So basketball, huge, unbelievable, huge moves.
I just want to know what you think about 2. Can I just ask you?
Let's go and just discuss the list real quick, and then please ask me after that. So I think the chips started falling when Anthony Davis finally went to the Lakers.
That was the first one I was going to ask you.
Shocking. We've only been talking about that for an entire calendar year now. So he went to the Lakers to pair up with LeBron, of course. All of a sudden, Vegas is like, oh my God, they're the heavy hitters, the favorites. Like, you don't need role players. Like, you don't need, other players. It's not 2-on-5. It's
Well,
not
they
gonna
don't
work that
have
way.
Ball anymore, so clearly they're not going to be successful.
True. Speaking of Ball, he went to the Pelicans.
Didn't they trade like 18 players to the Pelicans?
Yeah, I think they traded like 5.
Yeah.
Ball said it's going to be great to have a refresh, like a restart, whatever that means. Pelicans might actually be decent because Ball, what I will say is Paul's court vision is amazing. Ball, his court vision is amazing.
We'll talk about him in a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. His court vision is amazing. He has some fantastic assists and stuff, and he's going to be paired up with Zion Williamson. So, the Pelicans may do a little bit of damage. Kind of depends on, Lonzo Ball's injury history and all that stuff. Let's see, after that trade, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving went to Brooklyn. Kevin Durant will most likely not play for the entire calendar year, or actually, sorry, the entire NBA year, due to that torn Achilles.
Yeah.
So he's essentially going to sit out a year.
So it's like a moot point, really, for the season, right?
It's like a moo point. It's like,
Like
a cow's opinion. It's moo. If you don't get the reference, you're not old enough.
Yeah. Rewatch Friends.
Text me. And then let's see here. What else happened? The Mavericks got, oh boy, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. Shruk was so mad the day that all the trades were happening. Like, what are the Mavericks doing? They're not doing anything.
Yeah,
We're
I
not
was
doing
pretty
anything.
upset. I was pretty upset.
I mean, we didn't really do a lot. We got the guy with the ears.
Yeah, we got
What's
Boban
his name?
Marinovic.
Yeah. You said that might be like a make a difference.
Yeah,
right?
he-
I
yeah.
don't really know anything about him.
He might be
actually.
like a decent rim protector. Anyways, Kawhi went to the Clippers, joined by Paul George. And
That
so
was a little surprising.
that was very well. I knew he
Not
was
to
going
everybody,
to LA.
but, yeah.
I didn't realize Paul George was tagging along, which leads us to Russell Westbrook. Why do all the stars leave Russell Westbrook? At one point, Russell Westbrook had James Harden. Of course, that's before his prime. Had Kevin Durant, had Paul George. They all left. And there were some rumors about some infighting between Paul George and Russell Westbrook, as there were rumors between fighting between Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook.
Which makes you wonder why he stuck around for so long, right?
Well, speaking of Russell Westbrook, he got traded to the Houston Rockets to be paired up
What
with James Harden, his
do?
former teammate, and Chris Paul got shipped off to Oklahoma City, who was trying to package a deal to send him to Miami. So,
They traded one problem for another, I think.
if you were able to keep up with that, because that's a lot.
We'll draw you a map.
Yeah. Then you can kind of paint the picture and understand that this upcoming basketball season is going to be extremely unpredictable.
Yeah.
As soon as Kawhi went to the Lakers, the Clippers were predicted to win it all next year. And
They're going to predict that for every team that a
I hate
superstar
predictions
goes
in
to.
July, but
So stupid. I'll tell you this. I don't think the Lakers still will have enough. They'll probably make the playoffs, but I still don't think they can do it. But what do I know? We'll see, I guess.
I don't even know if they make the playoffs.
I don't know.
2 players a team does not make.
I mean, I
mean,
don't know.
Anthony Davis is injury prone. He's always missing
Right.
games. So
I don't
I'm not really sure. But
I'm more interested in Russell Westbrook coming to the Rockets, maybe just because it's like a market I'm more familiar with. I don't if James Harden and Chris Paul couldn't get along, do you think James Harden and Russell Westbrook, I know they have some history, but are they going to get along? Is that going to be a good situation or no? I don't know.
it could be. Here's the problem.
Both of them seem to have very difficult personalities to
Right.
me. But
You have 2 extremely ball dominant players.
right.
Russell Westbrook is a stats powder. He has the past 2 seasons averaged a triple-double, which is phenomenal. But when it comes down to it, when it comes to crunch time in the playoffs, he was a first-round exit both years. And it's not like it was him and nobody else. He had Paul George. He had Kevin Durant for a long time, for a very long time,
Right.
since he was drafted by the Supersonics. Before the team went to Oklahoma City. Like, it's just... It's nuts. So, the speculation is stupid. Like, when because usually when I like get ready for work or have some leisure time, my YouTube channel feed is like littered with sports stuff, and it's the same stuff every day. Oh, Russell Westbrook coming to Houston makes him a contender. I've heard this for so many years. The Rockets are contenders because it's Harden and CP3. The Rockets are contenders because of Harden and this. Harden. It just look. Why don't we just let it play out? Like, it's so boring, I guess, to predict all this stuff this early on.
But there's nothing else to talk about right at the moment.
What are you talking about? There's tons of sports. By the way, the Mavericks picked up DeLon Wright from the Grizzlies. So his
I don't know him.
The analysis was he's a poor man's Lonzo Ball, and I'm not sure I like that.
That's not nice.
Yeah, I didn't like that. But he's a good defender. I'll be the first one to honestly admit I don't know crap about him. But let's see what happens. We were kind of targeted to get Danny Green. That didn't happen. I really like Danny Green, but I think on the last podcast, I think I stated that Kawhi is coming to Dallas. That was definitely a reach. That did not happen at all.
Oh, really? That was a reach? I thought that was totally going to happen. I was holding my breath.
Yeah. But anyways, so
while we're talking about the Mavericks, I'm sorry, did you have something else to say?
No.
While we're talking about the Mavericks, can we discuss really quick Dirk getting royally snubbed by the ESPYs?
You were going to ask me about free agency stuff.
Oh, we already talked about it. Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook. That's what I wanted to ask you.
Oh, yeah.
You already gave your thorough opinion.
Yeah, so go ahead.
I was just going to say Dirk was completely snubbed by the ESPYs, not even mentioned.
I don't know what it is because so they were having
as was Luka Doncic, by the way.
Yeah, so they had like a little tribute to 3 athletes that are retiring this year, right? And before they even came on stage, I was like, okay, cool. So Dirk and Dwayne Wade, and I was like, who else is retiring? And I was like, oh, probably Lindsey Vonn. Right?
Yeah.
And they were like, Dwayne Wade.
You were almost right.
Lindsey Vonn. I was like, all right, sweet, man. Dirk's about to come up. I can't wait. Rob Gronkowski.
I don't even think Dirk was there. What I watched, right. I never saw him.
Now, I normally don't watch the ESPYs like really intently. Like, it's on in the background.
Yeah.
But to snub...
We only stopped really because you were flipping through the channels
right.
and you saw that it was on. Like, we didn't even know it was on.
But to snub the best European player of all time, the second or third best international player of all time, 6th most scoring points. He actually has a category of himself. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
It's like plus 30,000 points, plus 25,000 rebounds, plus 10,000 blocks. Something crazy. Like, he literally is in a category by himself.
Plus the longest career with the same team.
21 seasons. And he gets snubbed?
Like, not even mentioned at all. And I'm really not being a homer here. It's BS.
Yeah, no. It's not even being a homer. You can completely...
I've never heard anybody say, God, I hate Dirk. We talked about this before.
Yep.
Like, I don't know why they would leave him out. And then we were talking about, what's the category? Like Rookie of the Year or something?
Yeah, like
it was
like breakout
Rookie
Rookie of the Year. And
instead of giving it to the actual Rookie of the Year,
right.
they give
it to Trae Young. Yeah. I don't get it, man. It's the funny thing is it's not a Dallas bias. It's an anti-European bias.
You think it is? Because I think
100%.
I think ESPN does have like a slight bias against Dallas sports.
I don't, and I hear that shit from North Texans all the time. I disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
Like every person on ESPN doesn't talk shit about the Cowboys?
No, they don't.
Who doesn't? Besides Will Cain, who's an idiot anyways.
I like Will Cain.
Ugh. He's obnoxious. For real.
I like Will Cain.
Oh, yeah, I know you do.
But no, ESPN is not biased against Dallas. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, well, if you say so.
Yeah. All right.
Never mind. Sorry,
done.
I mentioned it. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense. Why? Like, Dwayne Wade wasn't even in the NBA as long as Dirk.
All right.
He didn't have a successful career as Dirk. Except he had more championships, fine. But, like, stats-wise, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So what was that meeting like for the ESPYs? Like, you know who we should honor? And Dirk wasn't even in the conversation. I don't know. I wonder how he feels. I'm sure he doesn't care, but
yeah,
everybody else is irritated. I know we're not the only 2 people irritated by that. So
you know what's funny about the ESPYs? I can't even watch this shit anymore because they do too many crying segments. And as a guy who doesn't cry a whole lot, right? Like I try not to get like super emotional.
If you guys didn't watch The Jimmy V Award. It was Jimmy V Award,
God, I
right?
hate the Jimmy V Award.
Was it Jimmy V?
Yes.
What's the other one?
Sorry, see,
Arthur Ashe.
I'm not even
Was
mad.
it the Arthur Ashe Award? No,
Yeah.
that went to hello, the basketball player. I can see his, and we were like, wow, he's so old. And we read about him, and he did all the civil rights stuff. His name is
Oh
just
my
like
God, Bill Russell?
Yes, thank you. I could see his face. That was Arthur. He won the
Which,
Arthur Ashe
by
Award.
the way, that was amazing. It was a great tribute. Unbelievable.
If you don't know about Bill Russell, just check out Wikipedia. Read about his life. It's really incredible.
So I knew about 50% about Bill Russell in watching that 10-minute segment.
Yeah.
Like, I'm dying. First of all, I want to buy his book, and I will read it. But I'm dying to actually study about him because what he did and what he went through is nothing short of phenomenal.
I think you probably knew the basketball stuff, but maybe not as much the civil rights stuff.
I knew the stuff like getting called the N-word on the court.
Sure. Right.
I knew being the only black player on the court. I knew sometimes his teammates were chastised by opposing teams for showering with him. I knew all the racial stuff.
Right.
And I knew a little bit of the affiliation with Muhammad Ali because I have studied the crap out of Muhammad Ali. He is one of my all-time 5 favorite athletes of all time.
Right. But did you know that he was like heavily mixed up with like Martin Luther King or
that I did not know.
Really part of the movement, not just like
Exactly.
Yeah, not just the sports part, but like.
So what I learned studying about Muhammad Ali, I knew it was Muhammad Ali and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar that were like the two, big mainstay names. I did not realize Bill Russell was there, and that's probably my fault. I probably should have done more research at the time, but I can't wait to do more research on this guy. He seems like a phenomenal person, somebody who overcame the most disgusting, adverse moments in our country, which
with
is
like an amazingly beautiful attitude,
right,
by the way.
which is open racism, and this is good. This is something great that we can always teach our kids. So always stand up for what you believe in. Like, if everybody's against you, like, don't let that stop you. Just be yourself, do your thing.
And it doesn't even have to be something as serious
Exactly.
as like racism.
Yeah, you have a right
sexism or something.
You have a right to earn your money. You have a
Sure.
right to, own property. You have a right to vote. You have a right to be in this great country and all that stuff.
Anyway,
Oh, damn.
what I was saying.
This just got deep.
You're complaining about the crying on the ESPYs. I was going to say
man,
the
I
Jimmy
hate
V
it.
award winner. I've read about this guy before. I can't remember his name offhand, but he's a high school football coach who was born without arms and legs.
Oh, Jesus.
And Shruk was like, I can't watch this. It was so inspirational. It was great. I don't know if you.
For those that don't
you
know
didn't see
me,
that.
obviously, I'm in healthcare, or not obviously. We have an Australian listener, an Australian download.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Wow,
cool.
that's interesting.
Hey, whoever you are, mate, send me an email. I'd love to get to know you. What? I'm a man of the people.
They are no longer listening.
They
because
say, they say mate.
Okay, fine. No problem.
No, I was looking at like the downloads and they kind of show the distribution or whatever on Podbean, but also Apple has their own numbers and all these other places have their own numbers. So I saw one in Australia.
Interesting.
It's kind of cool.
That is cool. Maybe they were looking for a different S&M podcast. This is not what I thought it was.
Yeah, that's funny. They're not talking about footy; they're talking about football. I have such a tough time with people who are born with abnormalities and like physical abnormalities, like.
Or just kids in general.
Yeah, like it's so tough, and like I'm not really much of a sensitive guy. Like I know how I kind of know how the world works, and I figure everything happens for a reason, and all these great cliches and stuff. But I remember you and I were at a Mavericks game one time in Dallas, and the halftime show was the AMP one, right? So
they were super good.
Yeah, so every halftime show participant had an amputation of some sort.
They were no, I think they were veterans, right? I think all of them were like military veterans.
Well, no, there were a couple of
something.
kids also, I think.
Really? I don't.
And they were,
maybe I'm not
they were playing
remembering right.
basketball with either a prosthetic leg or a prosthetic arm. One or two of them had, 2 prosthetic limbs.
And about 1,000 times better than I could do.
Yeah. And like everybody's cheering them on, and I'm sitting there and I just start tearing up. And it has nothing to do with like pity. I don't pity these folks.
Everybody has a soft spot for something different,
Yeah.
I think.
I just I see. Okay, the funny thing is, I don't cry in real life, but I cry at movies, right? And the reason being is because I like
That's not weird.
It is weird. But I like to put myself in other people's shoes. Like when somebody deals with a struggle, I like to think, like I almost like want to feel that struggle and try to figure out how I would live with it. And I don't know. I just have a soft spot for them.
Yeah. Anyway, so
yeah.
Screw the ESPYs, basically.
Yeah, so
we're getting
I hate the Jimmy V award because they did it like
it's always
Stuart
a
Scott.
rough one.
Yeah, Stuart Scott was like what 3 years ago or 4 years ago.
And then Robin.
Robin Turner.
No,
the
what's her
lady.
name? Yeah.
I forget.
I can't think.
Yeah. But it's just really sad. Anyways, let's scoot forward.
Yeah. So how about the? Are we done with that? How about the women's soccer team?
Hell yeah.
How about that?
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Rapinoe obviously won the golden ball award, golden foot awards, the golden foot award. Most goals in the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
They are amazing. The last, I think, 5 minutes or maybe 8 minutes of the game, Carly Lloyd entered. I'm a huge Carly Lloyd fan. She had like 2 really, really close opportunities to score, and it just, it's just an unlucky bounce.
A lot of these ladies, this will be their last, right? I mean, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think they can make it for another one.
They may have one more shot, but it'll probably be like
pushing it. They're in their 30s already, right?
Yeah, it'll probably be like they're on the bench or something like that.
Yeah. Soccer is rough on the body. I don't know.
But man, congrats to them. Like, it was an exciting game.
Yeah. There was actually, oddly enough, maybe this was just me, but even watching the final game, like there was never a question in my mind that they weren't going to win. Like they looked pretty dominant the whole time. Right. Even when it was like 0-0, whatever, but they just looked like they were playing better.
I agree. Now, I will say this. I thought the first penalty was a bad call.
Yeah, I think you're not alone in that.
I'm just very happy they scored the second goal to where it can't be like there's a bias because the U.S. got a cheap penalty.
Right.
Because I thought the defender was going for the ball and it was an incidental contact from foot to the arm. But be that as it may, the U.S.
maybe
won.
Down on the field they saw something that you didn't see.
Right.
You never
true.
Know.
But
or something was said or whatever.
The U.S. won and the crowd was chanting. I think they were chanting like equal pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which that's a hot button topic.
Well, the men's team can't do a damn thing. Yeah, so
that's a hot button topic.
How about they funnel some of the money from the men's team into the women's team until the men can start winning?
Oh, I don't. Man.
I mean, didn't the men's team get beat by like nobody?
Yeah.
I'm not being disrespectful. Every team is somebody, but I'm just saying like they've gotten beat by teams that were not supposed to beat anybody. And they beat us.
We're just, you know what I hate though? I hate that like when you talk about U.S. soccer and World Cup, like men's soccer.
Yeah.
I hate that people say, "Oh, we're not good at soccer because we have so many other sports to be good at." That's bullshit.
The women don't seem to have a problem.
Like that. I hate that philosophy. It's almost like, the Los Angeles fans don't go to games because there's so much other stuff to do. What are you talking? Then you're not a good fan.
But how many kids, maybe I'm not understanding, but how many children do you know that play soccer?
Tons.
We have a pretty decent pool of players to pick from, right?
Yeah, here's the deal. Like, I think if people can admit that LA fans are not great fans and stop being hiding behind the excuse of like, oh, there's just so much to do in LA.
And it's not just LA. There are other markets like that too.
It's like every other city has like one Walmart and one Costco and nothing else to do but sports. Like, give me a break. The same thing with like the men's.
Talk about isn't Tampa Bay the same way? Or
no,
Miami? No, there's somewhere. Atlanta?
No, not at all.
No, there's somewhere in the South. I'll think about it.
But it's the same way like the U.S. soccer. Like, oh, we have to excel at other sports, so that's why we suck. No, just admit you suck at soccer. Just admit that from the head all the way down. From the recruiters, from the general managers, from the people who pick their lineups.
Oh, you mean like MLS is not good?
No, MLS and our national team, like who picks the formations, Bruce Arenas, just it's been a dumpster fire. It's embarrassing. Like it really is. Every World Cup, hell, we didn't even qualify for the last World Cup, and that's how do you not qualify? Like that's embarrassing. Like. Every year the U.S. has gone to the World Cup, I always like, oh yeah, man, go USA, go USA. But in my heart, I know they're not going to make it far. They're not even going to get close. And at a certain point, you're like, damn, man.
Yeah.
It's like being like a Cleveland Browns fan or like,
Right.
you know, a Sacramento Kings fan. Like, geez, guys, like why am I investing so much time to watch this
Hold up on the
stuff?
metaphors. The Browns are going to be amazing this year.
Oh, whatever. I'm not falling into that boat.
Yeah, I'm not either.
All right, so U.S. Women's, y'all are
Yeah.
awesome.
Good job,
I
ladies.
really hope that you guys are these stalwarts and you pave the way for the ladies to get equal pay
Yes.
and to
Agreed.
earn what they're worth. That's the thing. Earn what you're worth.
Yep.
Because you know what? I read a statistic that the
This is
U.S.
about to make me mad, isn't it? Go ahead.
Well, I don't know. The U.S. Women's World Cup, I think the final 2 matches drew, 18 or 21% more than the U.S. Men's World Cup.
Yeah, I have no
Yeah.
doubt about it. Because
So-
everybody wants to watch a final game.
Yep.
It's,
But I think
it's
it was a lot-
harder to care about those first couple rounds.
Right.
You know what I mean? So obviously more people. So if you can make it that far,
Right.
and they're on like tons of commercials and stuff. I don't know.
Well, all I can say
Pay
is
the ladies.
kudos to the women. Like
Yep.
they're awesome. They're like, they are fantastic. And you know, a lot of people say soccer is boring. That part I don't understand because I grew up liking soccer and watching soccer.
I have to admit, I do think soccer's a little boring sometimes. Like these World Cup games, like, but I wouldn't go down and watch the Dynamo play.
I would love to. Anyways, next topic.
I don't know.
Congrats.
All right. Yes, congrats. I only really had one more thing I wanted to talk about.
Go for
Unless
it.
you wanted to talk about something else.
I'll go for it.
So maybe my dates are a little wonky. Maybe a week or two ago, maybe when Marisnik slid into Lucroy. So if you don't know,
You mean like 4 days ago?
no, it wasn't 4 days ago.
It was 4 days ago.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
No. So the Astros were playing the Angels, and Marisnik was going from third base to home. Lucroy, the catcher for the Angels, went forward. Marisnik thought he was going to go backward. They collided, like shoulder to head. I think like Lucroy took a shoulder right in the nose.
Collided is the most tame word you can use.
It was rough. It was really, really
it was
bad.
brutal, yeah.
Like Jonathan Lucroy had no idea where he was. Nose broken, like gushing blood.
Right.
You could see when he was like being walked off. You could literally see the break in his nose. Like it was really bad. But my question to you is like, Marisnik was suspended for 2 games.
Right. He's still under appeal.
When I watched it, I didn't think it was malicious at all. So what do you think? Like, should he be suspended? And is there something we can do to protect? I understand the catchers need to be protected. That is a vulnerable thing. They have to look at wherever the ball's coming from. They can't keep an eye on the runner. Like, I totally understand. They're like, I'm protected in that way. But what else I mean, it seemed like shitty timing to me. Like,
I file this under incidental contact.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
let me say why. So put yourself as Jonathan Lucroy as a catcher.
yes.
You're facing second base because that's where the ball is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And right to your left is third base, obviously, right?
Rob, yeah.
So usually when the catcher gets the ball, the runner runs towards the back of the catcher
Right.
because the catcher has to twist all the way around
Sure.
in
It
order to
makes
make the
sense.
tag.
That's how you avoid.
And it's very
tag,
and you
right.
whip your legs around the opposite way, so it's very difficult.
So the chunk of your body is
Right.
away, so they
So it's
can't
very
touch
difficult
you.
for the catcher to tag, right?
Logistically, it makes perfect sense.
So Marisnik, once he saw that Lucroy got the ball,
Mm-hmm.
and it was this was such a bang play. We can slow it down and make any judgment we want to, but when it's full speed,
Yeah.
and you're running 20 miles an hour towards
Sure.
a target, like
Mm-hmm.
it's very difficult. So Marisnik, what he did was take like a stutter step to his left. Okay, so now if you're the runner, you're facing home. He's seeing that Lucroy has the ball, and he thinks Lucroy is going to go towards
shift.
the right,
Right.
but Marisnik goes towards the left. Well, unfortunately, Lucroy also
yeah.
went to the left,
Right.
from Marisnik's perspective,
Right.
and he caught a shoulder and chin to his neck and head.
Ugh.
This is incidental, and I understand there are rules in place to protect the catchers. I've watched this video about 10 times. It's hard because Lucroy does get in his way, and that's a big no-no because that's like a what's it called? That's a once you have possession of the ball, if you're in the runner's way, it's interference.
That's right.
So they called Marisnik out, and they're trying to suspend him, which I don't know. I would love some feedback from anybody because I think
like a little clarity from somebody else.
We got to get to Ray's question eventually one day.
What was his question?
Well, I don't know. He posted like 4 weeks ago.
Sorry, Ray.
Sorry, buddy.
But like you said, it looked like Marisnik, in slow motion, of course, it looked like Marisnik was going to do exactly what you described at first. Like go to the back of the bag, like slide around.
Right.
But then apparently it looked like he saw Lucroy do something that made him think he should shift the other way. How can you protect that? Like, I understand, okay, these rules about the way that you can slide into second base, you can't slide into the second baseman's ankles and like those rules, I totally understand because it doesn't, there's not as much like maneuvering that happens at second base, if that makes sense. Not as much as home plate. There's a lot of, usually from home, like at a play at home plate, you're getting the ball from far away, right?
Yep.
At a play at second base, you're getting it as far as the catcher, like that's about as far as you're going, right? So I understand that there have to be rules, but how can you protect that? Like if you and I are just like walking and I go left and you go the same way and we bump into each other, that doesn't mean it's anybody's fault. Like it happens, right? You misread
it's your fault.
You misread the situation.
If anybody's going to be in anybody's way, it's your fault.
That is true. But
no, I don't know. It's unfortunate, but I think it's incidental. I think they should just go and meet in the middle and suspend him for one game.
But
and just
why
be done
suspend
with it.
him at all if it's incidental? That's my question.
Because you can't not suspend him. The rules
Why?
are because the rules are in place. Look, sometimes you're under. It's not a vacuum. You can't be in a vacuum of everything is fair. It's not fair.
Okay, I see what you mean.
So
if Lucroy hadn't gotten his nose broken and like his bell completely rung, would they still suspend Marisnik, or is it because of the injury to Lucroy?
I think because of injury. And I think reducing the suspension to one game is kind of like settling out of court. You're not admitting you did it. You just, you just like, come on.
Like sometimes it sucks and you have to just
let's just meet in the middle. I'll eat shit, you eat shit, and let's move up forward.
Yeah. And I guess this doesn't happen so frequently that like we really need to have this long drawn out discussion, but it was just really interesting to me because it completely seemed like an accident.
Yep.
And if, I don't know, if two outfielders ran into each other by accident, you wouldn't suspend one of them for being in the way.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Sticking with the baseball theme and the Angels, rest in peace to Tyler Skaggs. He was found.
Passed away in...
Yeah. He was found in, I guess, Arlington, Texas, at a hotel.
I think Southlake.
Or Southlake.
Or something, somewhere in the area.
Anyways, I think it's still unknown causes.
I saw that everything won't come back until like October.
Yeah.
Like the autopsy and stuff. I have no idea.
So whatever the case is, that's not really, or whatever that situation is, not really important. The important thing is that we lost somebody who's very, very young.
Every time I see a tribute and I see that he was born in 1991, it's like a gut punch. Like, that's really sad.
It is sad. And I think the Angels did a really awesome tribute. They all wore Tyler Skaggs jerseys for a game. And during the end of the game, they put all their Tyler Skaggs jerseys on the mound with a picture of him. I thought that was really cool. It was definitely.
I think he had only been married to his wife for like less than a year.
Probably, yeah. And it's tough to, death is hard enough, but it's tough when they're young, you know.
And also like at the prime of his career, right? And like
it has nothing to do with like sports or any of that stuff. It's just it's a young dude who, for whatever reason, is no longer here, and that just that always makes it tough. It was really cool of the John Daniels of the Rangers. He opened up both locker rooms because some of the Rangers players knew him very well. And they got together, and I believe they had a dinner all together or something.
Like a reminiscing.
Yeah, I forgot. It was like a little blip on the ticker on the TV.
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool. And obviously they postponed the game and all that stuff. And yeah, it just sucks. But that's life. You just kind of got to move on and on to the next one. Hopefully, other people. Look, David Ortiz got shot. I forgot.
That guy was from our area. Do you know that?
Where were you that day?
Oh my God, it wasn't me. No, if I can change the subject because we haven't talked about this. Do you know what happened? Did you read about it?
I think you sent me an article.
Apparently,
maybe
this guy was mad at his brother or brother-in-law because he thought that he had, like, the other guy had ratted on him to the government. Where were they? Dominican Republic, right?
Rafi, we're all from Dominican.
Key and Peele. So this guy, the shooter, thought that his brother or brother-in-law had, like, sold him out. I don't know. Snitches, whatever. So
snitches get stitches.
Apparently they get shot. So he had gone there to shoot his brother or brother-in-law, and that guy happened to be sitting at a table with David Ortiz in a bar.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So he just shot the wrong person.
That sucks.
Like, I think it was just bad aim,
right.
and he shot the wrong person. Like, there was no malicious intent toward David Ortiz, which has to be comforting that nobody's trying to kill him, but
right.
still.
I heard Ortiz had a third corrective surgery for infection protocol.
Jeez.
And this was like last week, I think. So, you know, prayers to him also for a full recovery.
That's such a scary, like, weird situation. I think that morning you're like, Jared, David Ortiz got shot. I was like, what?
Yeah, I know.
He seems so likable. Like, yeah. I don't know. It's like, who would shoot? And it had to have been like an accident or something.
Right.
So weird. That's a weird stuff happening in Dominican.
Yeah. So that's a report coming out. If we want to start doing like political news and like international news, yes. Like, there's some crazy shit happening to American tourists in the Dominican Republic. Yeah.
I don't know. Apparently this has been happening for years and they're just not talking about it, but
I don't know. I still want to go though. I want to go to Punta Cana.
I just don't drink anything out of the hotel bar, I think is the trick.
Beautiful white beaches, man. Looks nice.
Let's let them get their situation sorted out and then we'll go.
Oh man, I've got an iron gut. I'll be good. Is there any more sports or should we actually start paying attention from now on and being more regular?
I mean, I can't think of anything.
Okay. Anyways, we just want to do like a quick show to come back, and we're gonna hit it hard next week. By the way, Romo won the celebrity golf tournament.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's awesome. Love the guy.
I saw him on the highlights, but I didn't see who won.
There were a lot of chip-ins.
Oh, really?
Oh man, Steph Curry had one.
He's a really good golfer, right?
He is. Yeah. He is.
Oh, he has that new show. It's called Hole in One. Something more as like a
yeah.
Miniature golf kind of situation.
Yeah. I have too many shows to keep track of.
Which, by the way, I've started recording that CNN show about the movies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we'll start watching that too. But no, we're rewatching Breaking Bad of all things.
I forgot how
for like the 18th time.
I forgot what happened. Like I know they make.
I'm just watching one episode. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing.
This is what
Cut
happens.
to weeks later. You want to watch season 5 Breaking Bad with me? Should we start Sopranos again?
Oh my god! So that's funny.
I can't.
I can watch Sopranos over and over again. It's my favorite show of all time.
I need a break from Sopranos.
Anyways,
have we ever watched an HBO show that we didn't watch again? Oh, Boardwalk Empire. We haven't watched again.
Yeah,
I think that's the only one.
It was good, but not.
I watched Big Love multiple times.
Right.
I guess I know Breaking Bad's not an HBO show, but premium cable show. I guess.
Anyways,
sorry.
We will come back. Yeah.
Hey, these are the conversations, people. This is what it's like.
She's
in
got
our
like
house.
microphones and shit. There's like an audio interface and like headphones in. She thinks we're having a conversation on the couch. Anyways, we will be back next week. Y'all take it easy.
Have a good week.